The games industry is going through a rough time at the moment, with many studios shuttering, prolific layoffs industry-wide, and discourse running rampant. Nintendo recently had a shareholder meeting where a lot of questions were asked of Nintendo CEO Shuntaro Furukawa, which revealed some insightful answers to how Nintendo handles its business. In this meeting, Furukawa was asked about AI, accessibility, and the future of Nintendo. While there was nothing to reveal about the Switch Successor, it's clear that Nintendo has a solid strategy moving forward to address many pain points when it comes to releasing a new console, as well as plans to include players with vision impairments and nurture third-party support. I've spent most of my morning translating the minutes from the meeting, and I don't speak a word of Japanese, so I do apologize if I have jilted the pronunciations of any names. But before we dive into this meeting, would you mind liking and subscribing? It's the best way that outlets like What's It Like get found on YouTube, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. AI-generated content is a hot topic right now, with a recent study showing that many developers are concerned that AI will have a negative impact on their jobs. Furukawa was asked about the plans to use generative AI in Nintendo-developed games, which was met with a very thought-out response. Furukawa said, "In the games industry, technology similar to AI has been incorporated into the movements of enemy characters for a long time. So I think that game development and AI technology have always had a close relationship. Generative AI, which has become a hot topic in recent years, can do more creative things. But on the other hand, we recognize that it has problems related to intellectual property rights. We have decades of know-how to create the best gaming experience for our customers. While responding to the development of technology with a flexible attitude, we would like to continue to deliver value unique to our company, which cannot be created by technology alone." And I think this answer is perfect because he's acknowledged the sensitivity of the topic, while pointing out the issues of copyright content and focused on the experience of the teams at Nintendo, and that's the very thing that sets them aside. Furukawa was also asked how they plan to tackle scalpers like we saw with the Wii, the PS5, and the Xbox Series console, which saw opportunists snap up limited stock and flip them at severely marked up prices. Nintendo seemed to be confident that supply will keep up with demand, stating that the semiconductor shortages that existed during the current generation of consoles has already been sorted out. To quote Furukawa, "As a countermeasure against resale, we believe the most important thing is to produce a solid number of products that can meet customer demand, and this idea has not changed since last year. In addition to that, we are considering whether we take some measures within scope permitted by laws and regulations based on the circumstances of each region. In addition, last year and the year before that, there was a shortage of semiconductor components that prevented us from producing hardware for the Nintendo Switch in sufficient qualities. But this situation has now been resolved. As for the successor models, we do not believe that the shortage of parts will have a significant impact on production at this time." When asked about attracting third-party support to Nintendo hardware, Furukawa pointed out the lengths of which Nintendo have taken to adapt specific game engines and support to the Switch. Furukawa says, "In order to make our platform attractive to indie game developers in terms of both development and sales, we have been working on a variety of initiatives since before the release of the Nintendo Switch, including the development environment that includes enhanced support for developers and appealing to developers around the world at events. In addition, we continue to provide promotional support for each title through a special program called Indie World that introduces indie games. For the Nintendo Switch, we prepared development environments such as Unity and Unreal Engine from an early stage, and many developers have used them. Indie games are an integral part of our platform, and we look forward to strengthening these activities in the future." Finally, accessibility, which is something I'm passionate about, and long-time viewers will know that this is something that I've tried to talk about in every review, as I do have vision-impaired followers. Accessibility is making slow progress in gaming, and there have been some games with incredible accessibility options like Mortal Kombat 1, but admittedly, Nintendo has been really lagging behind in this area. The following question was posed. Someone asked, "I think there are people with vision impairments in the world who want to play Nintendo games. Can you explain what Nintendo is working on in this direction?" Furukawa responded, "While we want many people around the world to play our games, I would like to refrain from commenting on specific incentives at this time, but we would like to make various efforts so that not only people with vision impairments but also people who have difficulty playing games can play our games. This response shows that Nintendo is moving forward with making games and consoles more accessible in mind, and I think it's never too late to take a positive step in the right direction. I also do wonder that the reluctance to talk about it may mean that there's some kind of hardware on the horizon that might help with accessibility as well. But what do you think the future holds for Nintendo after seeing all these responses? I like to think that it's a really good measured response. I think there's a very solid plan. Nintendo are very calculating as a company. So let me know your opinion. And for everything else Nintendo, check out whatsitlike.com.au. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.